put out a sefer like that. Unbelievable. Okay. All right.
You have to buy all of them, but I guess that was
By the way, Shlomo Golan, it's a friend of mine. He's a Breslov. You can see him. He works for the Keren. Yeah, so you can get from him everything. Everything. You can get from him everything. All right. So we have explained this is Likutei Moharan Torah Chavdalad. We're holding by Seif Ches. We have explained that from the light of the Pnimius of Chesed Gvura Tiferes and the Pnimius of Malchus the Yitzira together combined the Keser of Asiya. Okay? And I explained to you yesterday, taking no guarantee that that this is really the truth, but it just makes sense to me, and I suppose that it is true on a certain level, is that a keser, which is the harness, the limiter of the Chochmah Bina Das, which makes sure that the moichin don't go haywire, as they call it in Hebrew, afalatzmo. That the person is flying all over himself, like things that he's, that he is Hashem's gift to humanity. It's just so you need the keser. You need a keser. You need something which is going to surround him. But the keser needs to be, on one hand, has to be a limiter. On the other hand, it needs to allow for growth. Or in other words, it needs to provide reliable means of control. As the moichin, as the intellect, surges towards the unknown. Because that's what the intellect wants. I want to know what I don't know yet. Okay, so I'm trying to figure things out. So I'm bringing things from my past, I'm bringing things from my experience. Maybe it fits, maybe it doesn't fit, whatever it is. Okay, so I need a certain boundary to keep me in check, but allow me to forge ahead. Okay? So the thing that allows me to forge ahead is the pnimius of the Malchus of the Yitzira. Malchus is Emunah. Okay, Emunah means that you're open to that which you don't know yet. The Chesed, the Gvura Tiferes of Olam Asiya provides possibly the means of constricting, because Chesed Gvura Tiferes are the valve. This is what it is. Chesed is giving, Gvura is the ability to hold back, and Tiferes is the ability to gauge how much to open, how much to close, according to the ability of the receiver to receive, according to what's productive, so both the ability of Emunah plus control valve, provide the keser. Okay? And the Rebbe says that that's the order. When a person is zeicher to birkas haseichel b'shleimus, when it's together with the Emunah and together with the harness that settles the seichel and puts it in perspective, he's zeicher to be masik the Kodesh Baruch Hu more and more and more. He's therefore zeicher to do the mitzvahs b'simcha. He's zeicher to the malchus of the olam above it, and then he again puts the whole thing in motion. the mitzvahs that he does now with the simcha that he was Zoich of Malchus of the Yetzirah, become the makif of the Netzach Hod Yesod of Yetzirah, wakes up all even higher, levels of Kedusha, and into Avodas Hashem. They go up and they cover up they become the malbush of the Chesed V'Tvei, the Yadayim, the bracha of the Olam Yetzirah. That brings down, you put seichel into it, from Chochmah Bina V'Das and so on, and then, again, you create the Keser of Yetzirah from a combination of the Pnimis Malchus of Bria and the Pnimius of Chesed of Gvura Tiferes of Yetzirah. In other words, it's a process it's a fractal process that repeats itself as you go higher and higher and higher, all the way up to Atzilus. You get the highest simcha, you bring up the spheres, get the bitter simcha, more seichel, more emuna, more simcha, more emuna, until you zeche to the kesef olam atzilus, until you reach the highest level of the high. And these three things that are given to a person, the birkas haseichel, the emuna, and that the harness of the seichel that settles the seichels down, and enables it to be meyushav, is hinted in the pasuk, Boch Kvod Hashem Mimkoimer. Baruch Ze Bchinas Yadayim. We said the hands are the blessing instrument. That's the giving instrument. Gesundheit. Let it rip. Don't hold it back. Kvod Hashem, Ze Bchinas Emuna. Kvod Hashem represents Emuna. It's Malchus Hashem, Melech HaKovod. Malchus is Emuna. Mim Koimoi, Ze Bchinas Keser. We know in Sifra Kabbalah that the Baruch Hashem Mim Koimoi says Aye Mekom Kevoidoi. So the Rebbe says in Torah Yud Beis, in Chelek Beis, that the Shem Kodesh of the Mama Sosam, which is, Kodesh Baruch Hu created the world with 10 sayings. And Hashem said, let it be light. And Hashem said, let it be Shemayim V'az. And Hashem said, let it be. And Hashem said, let it be. So the Gemara says that the world was created with 10 sayings. Okay? When you actually count how many times it says, and Hashem said, you find only 9. So the question, which is the 10th one? So Chazal said that the first one, Bereshis bara Elokim et hashamayim v'sa'aretz, it's also a maimah. It was also done with a maimah, but it doesn't say first, it's not spelled out, Vayomer Elokim. It doesn't say that. So the difference between that one mimer, the first one, and the next 9 is that the first mimer is called Mamal Sosam. It's a closed, a concealed, a hidden mimer. The next 9 are open mamar. They're overt. They're evident. The reason for this, Rabbeinu says over there, is because the Bria was created for the Kol of the Kodesh Baruch Hu. Every part of the Bria was created for a specific revelation of Kovod Hashem that this can bring. The lions, the trees, the bees, the people, the seas, whatever it is. When you behave al piter with everything, you expose the Kovod Hashem. That thing brings about a unique exposure and gilui of Kovod Hashem that only that particular Bria can bring. Okay. Now, obviously, since we're saying that every maima, everything was created for the Kovod of Hashem. Obviously, every maima, the Bria was created with 10 mamorim, 10 portions, so to speak. So every maima has a specific Kovod of a Kodesh Baruch Hu that this mimer came to reveal. The purpose of everything is the revealing of the Kovod of Kodesh Baruch Hu. there's a rule in reality. My honor I will not give to another, which means that the code of the Kodesh Baruch Hu cannot be revealed in Betev or the Zorah, in Averis, in filthy things. Okay. So, how can they exist? It's a contradiction in terms that nothing can exist without a Kodesh Baruch Hu. You know, the kavod of a Kodesh Baruch Hu is the thing that feeds everything. But the kavod of Kodesh Baruch Hu cannot be evident. It cannot be evident in those in Mekom Misatuma. So, and they have to exist. They have to exist in order to enable choice, right? The Rebbe says that they get the chayas from the Mama Sasam. Mama Sasam is concealed. It's hidden. So Mimele, the filthy places can receive their chayas dafka from the highest of all the Mamorim. And the Rebbe says that that's the secret, that when a person finds himself in tremendous depth, in tremendous, in really horrible places, you know, doing things that he really, really should not be doing. And he's looking at himself, and he says, I am a Kom Kevoda. You know, where is the code of the Kodesh Baruch Hu in my life? In what I do, in the way that I behave. Aye is the name Kodesh of the Mama Sasam. It's basically, I mean, the Chochmah is a statement, the name Kodesh of Chochmah, which is Ma, is a statement and a question at the same time. When you say Dvar Ma, you said something, right? Ma is something, right? Ma also means what? Say what? Right? Ma? Which means you know that there is something, but you don't know what it is. This is Ma. This is this level of Chochmah. It's only revealed in, you know, after the Bina and the Das, then you know. The level of Chochmah is wonderment. The level of this, of Mama Sasam is Ayah, is where. Where is Ayah Mekom Kevoda? When you're looking for the Kodesh Baruch Hu, Ayah Mekom Kevoda, where is the place of the Kodesh Baruch Hu? That is that you realize there has to be, that this, where I am, receives chayas from a Kodesh Baruch Hu. And without him, it would not exist. But where is Hashem in my life? The Rebbe says, with this, he's going all the way up to the highest level of them all, because the mekomes, the filthy places, they get the chayas from the fact that you can see that Hashem is feeding that place. Because kvodilach lo eten. The minute you're saying, Aye, where is Hashem? You're exposing the fact that Hashem is feeding that place. Immediately you are up to the highest level there is. And the Rebbe warned us to go with this Torah, and Torah Resh Pei Beis, you know, the Nekudas Torahs. These are the two fundamental Torahs of Likutei Moharan. The Rebbe says, this is what we should walk with. Look for Hashem. When you find yourself, you watched a movie you shouldn't have. You spoke to someone you shouldn't have. You did something you shouldn't have. You fell into a really, really serious avera. Anything. I mekom kevoidei. Ribono Shalom, where are you where I am? Immediately his oiler says, and it says that thing, and the Kudas Tovis, he says, will sustain you wherever it is, no matter what happens. So when we are saying that mim koimoi is aya mekoim kevoidoi, so aya, that's the keser, that's the so mekoimoi is the keser. Mekoimoi is that keser. So Boch Kvod Hashem Im Koimoy, Boch is the Yadayim, is the hands, is the bracha. Kvod Hashem is the Emunah, is the Malchus. Im Koimoy is the Keser. Now we hold Sif Ches. When a person fixes and arranges and erects the power to settle down and to put order in the seichel, shua keser, karoi, properly. Your intellect is chasing to perceive the light of infinity. You know, the magic of life fantastic, as they used to say in the 30s, I think, 20s. Whatever it is. Actually, it means having a good time. This is what it used to mean then. But nevertheless, it's a very picturesque. Forget about it. I'm sorry. Be that as it may. All right. The intellect still chases. The intellect chases to be masig or ein sof, which is beyond all the olamas. It's beyond everything. It's beyond Atzilus, it's beyond Bria, it's beyond Yitzir, it's beyond Asiyah. V'akeser me'akiv es ha-seichel. And the keser holds the seichel back kedel yashav es ha-seichel, in order to anchor the seichel. You know, and keep it anchored. I think this is the best targum for miyashiv is anchor. It anchors it. It holds it down. And this interrelation of the surge of the moichin and the me'akev and the barrier that holds back, azai makeh moichin ba'miyashav ha'mesada, the intellect, the surge of the intellect bangs against the limitation, the anchor, the boundary. What happens is, it kevyochol, if you want to understand it, b'derech mashal, ha'ke'ilu is, it creates a bump. You know, in the miyashav, this is the boundary, okay? It creates a bump in there, okay? An extra room, which is surrounded with the miyashav, surrounded with the masada. In other words, you're not going to break free into Ein Sof and become nuts, okay? But this bump is vacant. It's not filled. It gets filled from Or Ein Sof. It becomes a keli for a light which is beyond the das. This is how you can get to be masigor Ein Sof b'fchinas mati v'lo mati. V'af al pichen lo yediya v'lo yisyoda. The Ein Sof is not known and is not, you cannot wrap your mind around it, so to speak. There's an extra space, there's an extra room, so to speak, in the kesa, in the intellect, which is not filled. Your seichel is limited to what it was before, but it creates room for a flicker. You know, as they say, out of the corner of your eye. It's like a ha'ara that comes and goes. You get it and you don't get it. Of Or Ein Sof. Kamuva bezoyer Parshas Noach umigoy hai priso, and from that screen, be'redifa de hai machshava, with the surge, with the racing of that machshava, of that intellect that surges, that wants to know, mate velo mate. It reaches and it doesn't reach. Prisa, that screen, Zeh HaMesad v'Hamiyashev. That's the anchor, that's the thing that settles down the mind. Shu Pchinas Keser, that's the Keser. Shu Parus, which is separating Ben HaNetzalim, between the creations, Ben HaMatzim, and the Kodesh Baruch Hu. And the Zohar continues, Vis Avidu Teisha Echolin. What happens is that it creates 9 palaces, 9 vacancies, 9 capacities, 9 tools, fashions of understanding, of getting the light. The Lavinu Nehorim, that don't shine, V'lo Ruchin V'lo Nishmasin, and that you know that they are not light. In other words, they're not nefashos, and they're not ruchos, and they're not neshamas, and nobody can be masig them. Nobody can attain them. V'lo misdabkin v'lo misyadin. Nobody can be masig this. Nobody can connect to it, and nobody can know it. Can know them. V'da, Rabbeinu says, on that level, shezeh tachlis hayediyah, that is the final goal of knowing. Ki tachlis hayediyah shelo yedo. The goal of knowledge is that you don't know anymore. You reach the point that is unknowable anymore. V'zeh, and this level, bechinas v'hisbir betzachtzachos nafshecha. The Kodesh Baruch Hu is going to satiate your soul with a light which is called Or Tzachtzachos. The light of Tzachtzachos. Tzach means clear, means clean. Tzachtzachos means super clean. Or Tzachtzachos is the highest asaga that there is. And it's a light that can fulfill your soul even though you don't grasp it. Reb Nosson said, about himself. It came out. He says that during his eating, this is when he experiences Or Tzachtzachos. During eating. Dafka during eating. That's because that's from the Ki Oris Elu, these lights, Hem HaTzachtzachos, these are the Tzachtzachos. These are that particular Oris Shem Lemala Masphere. This is beyond the spheres. In Pardes Rimonim, that says in Shara Tzachtzachos. Ashrei Misha Zoicha Sheyirdov Machshavtei La'atzig Asagos Elu. Fortunate is the person that merits that his machshava will keep on chasing to attain these asagas. Even though it's not possible for the mind to actually encompass and attain this, you can't connect to it and you can know it. These 9 halls, heichalos, which means these are places of containment where you can contain. Heichal, the seichel itself is a heichal. Means it's 4 walls, kiviyachol of your seichel, that are filled with whatever seichel you have. So this is the tisha eichalin. These 9 halls. Nasinal dea betisha. This is made through the crashing of the chase of the intellect as it bumps against the anchor, against the kesa, against the ma'akiv. That the moichin hit the kesa when they're surging ahead. Now, why 9? He says because we have a principle, a moichin in class. The moichin, the intellect, is always 3. Chochmah, bina, das. That's moichin. What This is the ma, and hu is the bina, me, ma, me, and das. Who knows what? That's the chokhmah bina das. The kol echad kol mitlas, and each one of those, because it's a fractal principle. All the spheres are combined from all the spheres. So chokhmah bina das, each one of them is comprised from chokhmah bina das. Everything is fractal. So it is three, which is comprised. Each one is comprised of three, which means altogether is nine. Kenichlolin, because they're all combined in one another. You should know that the essence of hit in Kabbalah, of bang in Kabbalah, explosion, big bang, whatever you want to call it, is the Kabbalah, Kabbalistic equal of multiplication. When you say something hits another, 2 hits 3 means 3 times 2. 2 hits 4 is 8. Because it means 2 times is 2 multiplied by 4. So multiplication and hit are synonymous. That's when they say in Kabbalah, Hakah is multiplication. So when you multiply 3, what do you get? 8. The minimum multiplication of 3 is 2, right? Because 3 multiplied by 1 doesn't change it, right? The minimum is 2. So when you say the multiplication of 3, the minimum is 9. And what it does, it combines them together. And they become 9, Teisha Echelin. This is the 9 halls of the mental faculties. Mitzvah Shem will continue. Reb Nosson goes with a lengthy ha'ara, because obviously this is deep, 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 deep concept. And you should know that sometimes when you're oisek b'mitzvah, and in Mitzvah Shem we're coming to Purim, we're coming to Pesach, so specifically, during Pesach, because Purim is totally Maladas, but when you're coming to Pesach, if you're zeicha to do the mitzvah b'simcha, and you eat matzah, you mekayim the mitzvah of achilas matzah with simcha, a simple simcha. And right now, I'm zeicha to be mekayim the mitzvah of achilas matzah, the way the Kodesh Baruch Hu ordered me. You can be zeicha to a glimpse of Otzatzachis, and you just no words, just no words. It's worth it to have been born, just to experience it once in a lifetime. Shem Yazoo.